Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Lady Gang. I am Becca Tobin here with Jack Vanek and Kelty Knight.
Hello.
Oh my
Kelty,
God.
you look like Princess Leia today. She's got her little space buns.
Let me
I
tell you
kind
about
of like it.
Thank
I
you.
do too.
I'm trying a new. I'm now that I'm back at work at E. I'm trying a new heatless curl. So, I always use the one that's like the bathrobe that you clip to the top.
Yeah.
I found this other one that the satin. It's like two satin kind of like clip, it looks like a scrunchie kind of, but with a clip on the end, and you roll it, and then it goes into it's just two on the top of your head, like a Princess Leia style, up high, and but then you put a little silk baggie over each one, like a muffin.
Oh.
I'll send you a picture. I'll post a picture.
Does it give you a curl or a wave?
So it gives you a. Oh shit!
You went in the wrong direction.
I went in the wrong direction. I just took it out. But I did it last night in the right direction.
It looks good though.
And I woke up and it was very easy for them to just.
Is the other one in the wrong direction too?
Let's see. I think so.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it is. I went
It is.
Oh no.
No, that one's in the
this
right
one's
direction.
right.
No, wrong.
No, it's okay. All he
you
had
sure?
to do was go. Yeah, no, it's wrong. Okay, so it didn't work. So I'll be wearing a pony. I'm actually going to take these. Okay, anyway, I'm so glad you came to the podcast for this visual. But actually, the reason I got into it is because Heather McMahon had posted about her. I'm trying the heatless curls. They don't work. And then I was giving her a tutorial, and obviously I need to give myself a tutorial. Anyway, life's hard trying to keep my hair on my head. But
Go ahead. The good news.
Well, I have 2 wigs being made.
Whoa.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and they're really good. Like they're lace front. They're getting professionally colored by the team. Like
what kind of a vibe? Are they your normal hair kind of a vibe?
It looks exactly like my hair.
Oh, that's
and they're
nice.
gonna cut it, and then I can just throw it on every night.
Hell yeah.
So nice.
I'll still be ugly on LadyGang.
That's
I mean, that's what we do.
it's our brand at this point. Okay, it's time for
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh no.
I'm going to kick us off because it's kind of in line with Patti, our guest, who she's such an icon.
I love her.
She's just filled with wisdom, and she's doing a dating show. Speaking of dating shows, I've been watching Love is Blind because it's something that I loved. Well, no, I finished it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
But I watched the first season. I really liked it. But then I just felt like I've seen this before. I don't need to see it again. Well, I watched the most recent season just because it was so explosive on the internet.
Yeah.
And I want to have words with Nick and Vanessa.
Oh, yeah.
While I love Vanessa, she's been on the Lady Gang podcast. I think she's a wonderful, lovely person. But I got very bothered by the reunion show that they got upset with. What's her name? Basically, people having intentions of wanting to come on and be famous. And they were kind of being assholes, Nick and Vanessa being assholes to Jeremy and Sarah Ann.
Oh my God. They're horrible.
Yeah, they are horrible, but I also was just kind of like, Sarah Ann went on Instagram after the show aired and was kind of talking about behind the scenes, talking about blah, blah, blah. And I guess Nick and Vanessa were accusing her of coming on the show just to be famous.
Have you met reality TV?
And that's what I was thinking. I was screaming at my TV that if you think for 5 seconds that you're announcing you're casting a dating show on Netflix, that you're not going to attract people who, yes, they might want to find love, but guess what? They also might want to be on TV and get a lot of Instagram followers. This is the era we're living in. And I need people to stop acting like they're so naive and stop being so judgmental of people who go on these shows to, get famous, because it's called television.
Well, that's
also,
what I think is
you can't even get a job without being reality show famous anymore. In any way, you're getting beat out for the acting roles. I'm getting beat out for the hosting roles. God damn it, Jack's getting beat out for the
Instagram ads,
the Instagram tequilas from the girls from those shows. Like, They're coming for us.
Well, that's what's been this like funny ongoing joke about The Bachelor, because it's like, are you there for the right reasons or not? People still say that, where it's like, it's been 20 seasons.
I know, but by the way, that last Bachelor I checked, she only has 200,000 followers. I'm like, you're not even getting famous anymore. Like,
no, you are. They a select few are getting massively famous. It's really weird.
You have to be special.
Taken like it has a new life. The Bachelor has a new life because it was really going downhill and nobody was getting famous from it. But now they are again.
Interesting. But I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed that people are being judgmental, sitting there acting holier than thou, like all of them.
They're not great hosts. They're not like everybody was getting annoyed with them because they weren't asking the right questions. Like they weren't asking the questions that everybody on Instagram was being like, you need to grill this guy about this thing.
Right. Right. But I guess
that's what makes
probably
Andy right. That's the producers. Like that's not their fault. But this was definitely a show where they're like, in order to sell this show, we need famous people. And so they're like, you know who would be great? Nick and Vanessa. They're famous. And then they came into it. Do I feel like they have a deep passion for dating shows the way Jack Vanek does? No. And I think what works, it's like when Andy Cohen is hosting Watch What Happens Live and these reunions, do I think he's 100% watching every episode and knows all of the Reddit information? No, but he has the whole thing of like, Jane from St. Louis wants to know, which is just the people, the producers giving him really shitty questions, but Andy's not asking. It's like someone else. And I feel like they need to do that more so they can get into like what the fans want.
But the good thing about, I don't know what has happened in the past year of reality TV, but I feel like they're not making contestants sign NDAs in the way that they used to. Right. Because back in the day, like when a Bachelor season was airing, like none of the contestants posted about anything in the show. Right. You had to wait until
like
afterwards.
A gag order.
Yeah. But now it's like, and this is the best thing I think any reality show has done, is they let their contestants post about whatever. So there's like
their promo.
New feuds happening and new conspiracies and new shit talking
while it's happening.
So it's like another show happening while the show's happening. Like it's the best thing ever. And they're doing it for The Bachelor and Love is Blind. Like there's so much shit happening while it was airing with all of the contestants and like all the shit going down. So I love it no matter, even if it's like, you know, there's always a note.
No, I love the show. I just was annoyed that their take on it was like slapping people's wrists because they want to be famous. I'm like,
so
hello.
Stupid. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? And then my good week is that I have decided, sort of like Kelty she's a success consultant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I've decided that I'm going to name myself the Annoyance Brand Officer / consultant. Mm-hmm. So every single brand
has
sucks.
To like,
because the way that they interact with their audiences or their followers or their shoppers, whatever the brand may be, they're all missing the mark. They're all either stalking you within an inch of your life and reaching out too often, or the way that they're even the subject of their emails bugs the shit out of me. Like, why is a makeup brand telling me we have good days and bad days? It's like this just whole thing of brands missing the mark and how annoying they are to consumers. Yeah. So I would like to be hired by a brand and tell them what is the appropriate amount to reach out to your followers. Which way are you reaching out? Like, why do I now, to get 10% off on a website, need to give my cell phone number and my email
and
to
a picture
sign
of
up?
my butthole?
Yeah, to get 10% off of these pair of shoes that I want to buy.
Yeah.
It's very irritating and I hate it and it's annoying. And I don't want to get an email from our quote founder anymore. I don't give a shit who your founder is. I care if your mascara is amazing. So I'm over it, but
Prove it or lose it. Prove it or lose it.
Prove it or lose it.
Is it annoying? Are we annoying when we send our newsletter? Our newsletter is jam-packed with info.
Some people. Probably to some people.
Probably to some people, that's fine.
We have a
but
very
also,
low unsubscribe rate on our newsletter, though.
No, because we have value.
There's value. We try to do value.
And we hit them once a week in their inbox, and that is all. Yeah. That is it. You won't hear from us again, and we won't stalk you. We won't be annoying. It's just, and guess what? I'm not going to tell you about the founders, because if you don't already know about us, then sorry.
You don't want to know.
You don't. There's nothing cool.
Our next newsletter next week is going to be a note from our founders.
I don't like the word founder. It's too like hoity-toity.
It sounds like George Washington.
It sounds like you had at one point like a boardroom where decisions were made instead of like a text where I was getting a bikini wax and Becca was in the car.
Right. It's just so stupid.
I think that the way brands do things the best is when they do things that have nothing to do with the brand. Like coming to mind, I think about like Duolingo. Really?
Disagree.
Oh, I think that that's where brands like hit the mark.
What is Duolingo doing?
Well,
Duolingo
actually, I have a whole thought about Duolingo.
Well, I'm not talking about Duolingo like using Duolingo for like learning
Their
language.
marketing.
No, but I know they have the big stuffy guy and he just jumps around being dumb and he's amazing.
And they're always like commenting on TikToks that like have nothing to do with them. I'm like, that's where I find joy in watching a brand.
Yes, I do like when Burger King writes crazy things on Twitter. Like that's fine because I can voluntarily be inundated.
Yeah.
But I don't want you in my inbox. I don't want you in my texting, and I don't want your. We've talked about boutique fitness and how offended I am when a manager reaches out and texts me and to see if I need help booking my next class. I will never forgive you. You know who you are. But anyways, if anybody wants to, if you have a brand that you're interested in like appealing to the masses or the assholes, I'm here for you.
It's almost like just
you're
don't
like
advertise.
You're the am I the asshole meter.
For brands.
For brands. Okay,
Yes.
I love it. Actually, speaking of brands, can I tell you my bad week? My bad week is unbelievable. So we have joined this like Macy's style club at LadyGang, which is really cool. And, as part of their new sponsors on the podcast. And it's actually really opened my eyes because I hadn't been a Macy's shopper for a minute. And then I went and I was like, they have mango, like literally the entire mango store. So much free people, like crazy good brands. Anyway, so I was really excited about it. And so we had to curate some like lists and stuff. And I was looking at all the clothes. And then I went to go buy some stuff and they have the Are You a Robot test. And it's the robot test where it's like 12 cells
like pick a traffic light.
Pick a traffic light. I am not kidding you. I counted because I needed to tell you. I couldn't pass it. It took me 11 tries.
No.
One, double digits. It took me 11 tries to click the squares with cars, click the crosswalk, and I was like, but it's so confusing because the square has
a little bit,
a tiny bit. It's not, I know that square is asphalt, but look at the right corner.
Did you just say asphalt?
Yeah, because it's a crosswalk.
Asphalt.
Ash?
It's ASS.
It's not asphalt, guys.
Yes, it's
It's not asphalt.
It's not asphalt.
There's no way. Hold on.
Asphalt is what they make roads out of. Asphalt. They don't make it out of asphalt.
Wait, how do you spell asphalt?
Asphalt.
It's ashvault. ASH.
No, it's not. Wait, how the hell do you spell asphalt?
Hold on.
What is it? It's not asphalt. That is not okay.
Asphalt.
Yes, ASPHALT. You ready to hear the correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Asphalt.
Asphalt.
You've been calling it asphalt this whole time and we haven't noticed?
How many times have we talked about asphalt?
I just feel like it would have come up in the past 8 years at least
I know,
once.
I'm shocked.
Hitting the asphalt. Anyway, okay, well, so maybe I'm a robot, guys. Like, I don't know. And then I started like really thinking about it. And then it's like, click all the ones with bicycles. And I'm like, well, there's a tiny bit of handle there. Or the basket. Does the basket, I know that's a basket.
I think it's a majority or not kind of click.
Anyway, and then it kept being like, are you a robot? Are you a robot? And I was like, am I a robot? Like, I can't pass this test.
Sometimes you are.
Anyway, okay.
I thought you were going to tell the story about how you picked out ugly shoes.
At Macy's. Justice for the fucking boat shoe.
No, it's not a boat shoe. What you picked out was it's like a Hey Dude or whatever. I forget.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be screaming in their car because it's like, it's the shoe the teens are wearing.
It
and
is.
They're the ugliest shoes.
I don't think
ever.
it's a shoe. I haven't seen a single person wearing that shoe.
It's the shoe the nurse used to wear when you went to the children's doctor.
I only know this because when I went home for Thanksgiving.
And also the guy who ran the like hot oil at the restaurant you worked at. Like the guy that did the fries.
They're called Hey Dudes and they're moccasin sneakers. Okay.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah.
And so Kelty's picking out these outfits and she's like, was this cute? Is this cute? Is this cute? And I'm like, yeah, everything's cute except for this shoe. Like there's nothing redeeming about it. She said boat shoes are in, and she sent me like a Vogue article with 5 boat shoes. And I'm like, this isn't a boat shoe.
It was pretty hideous.
It's bad.
I don't know what to do because I want to only wear a comfortable shoe, but I knew for this particular moment it was not going to be a sneaker. So anyway, life's hard. Life's hard when you're a robot. Okay, here's my good week. My good week is that, and I think, Jackie, you've talked about this before. I spent a lot of time in bed and I saw a new word. Instead of an all-nighter, it's called an all-dayer.
In what way?
Like,
did you just have a day?
No, instead of like, oh my God, I pulled an all-nighter. Me successfully living, like I pulled an all-nighter. Like,
yeah, we know that.
Partying.
Yeah, we get it.
It's usually studying.
What if you don't party and you just are like, I pulled an all-dayer. Like I started drinking in the morning and then I went to bed at 7. It's
an all-nighter has to do with
studying.
studying. For like a test. You're like cramming for a test the next day.
I'm a robot. Who's next?
That was insane. Okay, I'll go.
I'm just going to lay down on the asphalt now.
Oh my God.
I'm pulling an all-dayer.
She's pulling an all-dayer on the
shoes.
asphalt. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Two in a row.
Also, people are going to come for me because so many millions of people wear these Hey Dudes. Hers were specifically ugly. They were all white, like a nurse shoe. Like I've seen cuter ones that are like navy.
Yeah.
It was straight white sole
orthopedic
yes
vibes.
So
I need an orthopedic
I know,
shoe.
but it looks
could
like
be a better
prescription
colorway.
orthopedic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's hard keeping up with your youths.
I know the youths of America.
Okay, my good week is, it's like bad because it's over, but I just watched the last episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm of all time.
Oh.
Did you finish it, Becca?
I am savoring them I'm only, I think, 4 or 5 episodes in, and I'm like going so slow. I'm doing the thing I'm doing with Suits. I don't want it to end, so I'm just slow as shit.
I know. Jared and I binged like five episodes because we were like late for him, and I'm like, why did I do that? And then there was just the one left. I'll tell you, it's the perfect ending. And Larry David doubles down on something that people gave him so much shit for that they hated about Seinfeld. Great. And he doubled down on it for Curb. And I just, it's perfection. Like you always get nervous about the end of an era.
Yep.
And he just does it. It's so funny. The storyline's amazing. He's hilarious. And I'm sad it's over. So good. My bad week is I'm doing something very brave and very courageous, and that is I'm waiting 6 months to get Botox. Now, I have been like a 3-monther since I was in my early 20s.
Wow.
And I am becoming immune to Botox. Like it doesn't work really on me anymore. And last time I was at the med spa, she's like, do you think that you can wait for 6 months so your body can readjust to whatever, the length of how much it lasts? And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I come every 3 months. I hate when it starts to fade. But now it's been 4.5 months and I just forgot to get it the last few months. So I'm almost to 6 months.
Where do you get it?
In my face, my forehead, my crow's feet. And then the most important place is in my masseters because of my TMJ.
Yeah.
So I have had the worst pain sleeping for the past couple months. And I was like, maybe I can just come get it for my TMJ. She's like, no, you need to have no toxin in your body at all.
Yeah.
You can't just wait for a certain part of your face or body or whatever. So I accidentally got to 4 months, and then now I'm I might as well just push through to 6. And
I actually I've started doing Botox twice a year as well.
Really?
And I really like my face more.
When you get it done again? Or
no,
just
I like it. I like having the crow's feet, and I like my forehead moving a little bit. I think it's pretty.
I don't mind the crow's feet. I get the railroad tracks in my forehead and it's mostly my masters, but I like it though. I love it.
I know. You know what you should try for your TMJ is acupuncture.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was have acupuncture? No, I just started doing it last week, but
I think it made a huge difference for me when I was dealing with that.
Yeah. It's my
Godspeed
in place of it. But yeah, I know. So brave.
So brave.
So brave.
Heroes.
We can be heroes here at LadyGang and robots. Okay. Well, when we come back, Patti.
Patti.
The Lady Gang.
Our guest today is one of the most iconic television personalities in the world. She's built her brand on tough love and helping the fancies find love on her hit Bravo series, The Millionaire Matchmaker. But now she's gifting all of the normies with her skills as well on her brand new show, The Matchmaker, on the CW. The promo pictures are her in a gold lame dress, slit up to the cahoochie, looking like a full Beyonce. So you know things are going to go down. She's here to help us find and stay in love. Please welcome the icon, Patti Stranger. Hello.
Hi guys. Hey, LadyGang. Big fan of the show. So thank you for inviting me to come on.
How do you still look like a spring chicken? You've been in this business for a million years, and I feel like you're going back as far as aging goes.
Well, God made a deal with me. I'm not going to get you married, so therefore you're going to be Benjamin Button. No, I'm only kidding. I don't drink. I watch everything I eat. I'm a gluten-free, dairy-free. I had Hashimoto's when I went into menopause. My whole life was blah. And I get really bad migraines and headaches. And so like I had to learn to heal my body. And, you know, the only thing I do is Botox for migraines and stuff, but I have no injections anymore in my face.
My God, you look
use a facelift. Trust me, we're not, you know, it's makeup today. And I got extensions. I do like everybody else in LA does. We can't, we don't show up and look like this. On the plane, I look like crap. I was sitting next to Adina Menzel and Maria Menounos on the plane. Maria looked stunning. Me and Adina
always.
Adina and I were like, she had her mask on, her slippers on. We were talking, and I'm like, she's like, I look like crap. I said, I look worse. Like we were like laughing. And we're getting up there. Like us ladies are still kicking it. And I think one of the reasons is I didn't have a kid and I wanted one badly, and I met a lot of traumatic men in my life. My father was like, not the easiest guy. And we pattern ourselves after the father figure or the female figure, depending if you're male or female, which side of the street you're on. And that's what the show, the Patti Stanger, my new show, The Matchmaker, is about. Breaking your patterns from the attachment theories to ancestral trauma. How are we going to fix our shit fast? We don't have time for talk therapy. None of that works.
Yeah.
So we're realizing my mom would say, as long as you got hope, there's someone out there. But it's not the one anymore. There's more than one.
Oh, yeah.
Life mates, not soulmates.
Oh, I like that.
Love that.
Were you nervous are you nervous coming back to TV? TV has changed so much, and you're a tough love bitch. You're like a female Gordon Ramsay. Like you tell people what is up. And we live in this world now where if you yell at one person the wrong way, people are going to be mad at you. Like, are you nervous?
This is interesting. Today, Bravo is having a Millionaire Marathon Matchmaker marathon. Interesting.
Oh. You're like, thank you for the promo.
When we were sold to Netflix about a month ago, I said, that's it, I'm canceled, before I even get out the door in the CW. And we were in shock that the younger generation was writing us and saying, this is the best show we've ever seen. And we're hoping our numbers are really good at Netflix. Please, Netflix, buy the rest of our episodes. But my fearless leader, Heather, who runs CW, who ran under Bonnie at USA, said, the kids are going crazy over you. They did research. They did statistics. Because CW is a small network. We know them as Gossip Girl. We know them as Originals and Rain and, Vampire Diaries. But we don't know this as an unscripted network, And I'm even leading in Lovers and Liars, at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. But we don't know if this is going to work because our demo is older.
Yeah.
And yet, who's single right now? Older women. Mm-hmm. Older women. Jennifer Aniston was on the carpet at the CW Awards where I was doing the Critics' Choice Awards. Sorry, I was in the CW booth. And I heard through one of my friends, she said, did you hear what Jennifer Aniston said? You're not alone. I go, what do you mean? She goes, she's in 7 years of dating hell. If Jennifer Aniston is in 7 years of dating hell and Reese Witherspoon is right behind, who's left for us? Like, I don't understand it anymore. Men don't want to ask women out because they're afraid they're going to get canceled. Okay. They're afraid the creeps, look, the P. Diddy, everything that's going on right now doesn't help the normie. Like you said, I love that word, by the way. And on top of it, a friend of mine, really good looking guy, maybe not tall, 5'10", with a lot of money from Calabasas, asked a nice girl out at the gym, good looking guy, nothing wrong, 52, asked her 42. She went off on him. And now he's terrified to ask any other girl.
Oh my God.
Terrified. Said, what did I do? I said, you did nothing wrong. This is her trauma. She's going through her own shit, taking it out on you. Yeah. So we're all upside down. When Whitney left Bumble a couple months ago, she said the apps are falling apart because the generation XYZ is not getting on. They're going on TikTok and Instagram. What's going to happen if TikTok goes away? No one is asking anyone out at the grocery store, the yoga class, the gas station, like our parents did. What is happening? The world is upside down. I'm trying to fix it. And this is what this show is going to do. It's going to show you what are you doing wrong. And hopefully you're going to learn something and go out of the house and do something.
Well, Patti, I love this. And I love that you're turning this around. And I think as the ladies out there, for us, and we see it so much in our LadyGang community, like if we can't even accept a compliment from a girl at work or the girl in like Home Goods being like, I love your hair. And you're like, oh, thanks. I mean, it's so ugly right now. How the hell are we going to accept a date? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of work to do on ourselves.
I was doing the satellite tour in the other room and I have a new hairdresser and I didn't like the way she did my hair today. Like I didn't feel
it's really good.
It's so pretty. This premiere thing tonight. So I wanted bigger hair and she's new and she didn't have enough time. So I was telling her, like, I didn't like this. Can you watch my old hairdresser? I have a video from it. And so the guy in the room, the nerd who sits with it goes, you have to be careful how you speak.
Wait, to you?
And it was to my publicist was in the room, the guy, and he's like, you didn't say anything wrong. You just said, I want you to fix it. Like, I'm not allowed to criticize anything. So how are we ever going to criticize ourselves in love? How are we ever going to fix our ship if we can't speak up? So then I went on the next satellite tour, and the girl said, what was the one thing that you learned from this experience? Because I'm single now.
Yeah.
And he said, I grew up in a house with a narcissistic alcoholic father. It was my way or the highway. My mother let him run the roost. And we were taught to run in our rooms and never speak up when a problem came up. That is what I did with every boyfriend I ever had. I was going to fix him. I dated down because then he would never leave me. And I was never allowed to question anything. If I could teach one thing to women today, question your shit. Speak up for what you want. You don't have to be mean about it. You can be polite about it, but you have to speak up. If you don't speak up, you're going to keep fall backwards, and you're just going to keep attracting that same narc over and over again.
Oof.
What is your piece of advice to somebody who, like, how do you even begin to do that? If you're the type of person that, like, grew up in that kind of childhood like you did.
Trauma.
Yeah, like, what is even the first step of being able to, because so many women that have experienced that, like, you just crawl into yourself when it's the time to kind of stand up for yourself.
PTSD. And there is a dating PTSD. You know, there's
I agree.
There's childhood PTSD, CPTSD, but there's dating PTSD. So if, God forbid, you spoke up every time and you got shot down, you won't speak up. Yeah. Or God forbid, it's the opposite way. So now you have to say to yourself, what is more important than the course? Okay, so how many of you want to get married? Raise your hand.
We're all married.
We're all married, but yeah. But our girl wants to get married. Our single lady gangers wants to get married.
Lady gangs, how many? So you have to say your course. If he doesn't want to get married, okay. A friend of mine is a very famous actress, called me yesterday and told me she was dating this great guy. And I go, you don't know him yet. He's not a great guy. You don't know him yet. So they have this great relationship, she thinks. 9 dates in, no commitment. Because she didn't require it. Like, she didn't read my book and say no sex before monogamy, like I always teach you, right? So now she has to go back and say, I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. And I had to go over the role playing and the whole thing. And I said to her, tell me more about him, because I didn't like him on the phone, the energy. And she said, oh, he was married. He's divorced. He had one girlfriend. He said he's never getting married again. I go, but to my friend, you want to be married. So why would you date him?
Mm-mm.
Because that's not safe.
Mm-mm.
And so safety, somebody asked me, what's the number one thing that women do? They need to be confident. I said, fuck confidence. You need to feel safe.
Yeah.
And you're all three are married. And you all know what it feels like to come home to your spouse and be safe. You also know sometimes they don't feel safe and they need safety from you. It works both ways. But what we are selling each other is like, we need to be independent, throw it up in a pan, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. We are social creatures. And in this time of scary of what's going on in the world right now, we're realizing how much, single women right now, how afraid we are. We just lost our reproductive rights in Arizona. Like, what's next? It's like from 1886 or something like that. So, like, what is happening to the world? We're in chaos. You want to have someone to be in the bunker with, or a guy that says, I know how to get out of Dodge. I know how to get through the woods and chop the woods and make a fire and we'll survive. And you need that. My generation was taught wrong. Be strong, make money. Buy your own house. Great. What did that do? I'm still miserable and I still got Hashimoto's, which is giver's disease in my menopausal years. And Maria has Hashimoto's. We're talking about how more women have autoimmune than anything else because we give. We're people pleasers.
I have a question for you. So about we all three married men who, whether it's figuratively or actually can get us through the woods. Like we all married men that are true men. If shit hits the fan, my husband can rebuild a car and build us a house. But they are so few and far between. My friends that are single now, they are little bitches out there. There are men it's like this is like a huge thing that's happening with the men.
What we think is money is the God.
Right.
When did money become more important? Like, I don't spend a lot of money. I'm not that girl that's on the carpet 7 nights a week in the perfect outfit. I'm not a Dorit from Beverly Hills. Yeah. I was never a Dorit. I was a good girl with fashion because my parents were in the industry and I knew how to find a 20% discount on whatever. Yes. And maybe I'll spend $500-$600 on a dress. But back in the day when you look at my closet and the house that Bravo built, it's thousands of expensive shoes and thousands of dresses. Like I was in Giovanni with the day one. And I'm sitting here going, Zohar Murad would be my splurge, right? I go, what did this get me at the end of the day? Like, I want to stay home and cook and take a walk on the beach and and feel really good with my serotonin, get under the covers, cuddle. I just watched Constellation on Apple the other day. Like, I want somebody that like has that kind of temperament. And I'm not that girl that wants to go out or be on Instagram every 5 minutes and go, look at me, look at me, look at me, look what I ate, look at it. I'm like, oh my God, go away. Yeah. I just want to chillax. And so
Same.
To find a guy like that is more valuable than Mr. Private Plane.
My God.
Because they have a lot of staff and they've got a lot of family members coming at them.
And expectations.
And there's no exhale breath. You can't exhale. That's why they keep getting a revolving door and getting divorced over and over again.
And then you get yourself in a situation where the power dynamic is so fucked up. If you're dating somebody like that.
Like even when you get two alphas together, like Sergey did with his ex, they still got divorced at the end of it. So what good is that? You need to zig and zag and you need to have good communication and your sex will be good some days and bad some days. It's never going to be perfect, okay? People think like, oh, we have the greatest sex in the world. It's always blah, 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 blah. Get to your menopausal years or, the menopausal years and shit doesn't work as well. And the cuddle becomes even more important because you need the serotonin, you need the dopamine, you need that fix of oxytocin to go, oh, it was shit. I had kids. I this, that, but and now I can relax. Or he picked dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have a question for you on what's your theory on this? I have a lot of single girlfriends now who I've set up with wonderful men, like really quality guys. And they'll call me and they'll say, I don't feel the spark. I don't want to rip his clothes off.
I don't feel the spark. And I'm like, the spark will come or maybe not.
I'm going to tell you a story about my ex-boyfriend. God forbid his sisters listening. He has 4 younger sisters. Okay. So I go on a date with my ex-boyfriend from Tinder. And he had really cute pictures. And when he showed up, he was a little chunky monkey. Now, I always dated athletes. And he played tennis, but he had a belly. He had a little bit of drink. And he's Catholic. I was raised Jewish. Even though my biological mother's Catholic, I'm adopted. And he was super cute face. And I went, at the end of the dinner, he was kind of like edgy, like too edgy for me. I was like, I needed a calmer guy. And I went, no, I'm not going out with him again. In the middle of dinner. We go to the car and he takes my ticket out of my hand, pays the valet. Now in New York, that might not be nothing, but in LA, that's 100 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yep.
Then he says, what are you doing Saturday night? I'm like, I went, and he goes, hey, you want to go to the Dodger game? I have season tickets. I had been to one Dodger game for Bravo throwing out the ball. I don't even think I've been to a Dodger game. I went, oh, that's kind of like on my wish list because I teach girls to make a wish list of all the things you want to do in your city so that when a guy loses, like he forgets things, he doesn't know where to take you, you have a wish list. And this way,
I love that.
if it goes south, you got something out of it. And it's not always dinner. It could be pickleball for all you know.
Right.
So I went, okay, all right, great. And then he grabbed me and kissed me. Now, he didn't stick his tongue down, but it was enough for me to smell him, taste him, and go, what the was that?
Oh, my God.
So I looked at him and I said, okay, you're cute. We'll just get that belly down. And that's what I did. That's when he got thin. And then we had other issues, but as time went on, it was so natural. Like he took his time with me sexually, and he gave me, on the fourth date, he asked me to be his girlfriend in front of my best friend who's a guy.
Wow.
Oh,
He was
shit.
jealous. He thinks I was my best friend. But the point of the story was, it was like, you don't always know there's a spark. He has to taste you, touch you, hug you. And then you have to go, you know what? He may not be exactly what I want, but he made me laugh. He brought me flowers. He made a reservation in my favorite restaurant. Like, you got to start looking at appreciation. Gratitude is what gets you love, not taking advantage of people and not actually appreciating what they gave you. So if it's not right for them, they should be paying it forward to someone else and give that person to someone else.
Yes.
And like in that vein, what do you think about women when they're like, this is my type? This is my type. Because I feel like a lot of women that get.
I'm one of those. I have to have tall and hair and height. It's just, I've tried the short and I feel like their mother because I like to wear heels and I'm 5'7.5". So I like the 6'1" guy. I do. I'm not gonna lie. And
I do too.
6'1s going around. So
well, a lot of my friends.
So I go Catholic.
All of my friends were the same. I mean, I ended up marrying a tall guy because tall was like my biggest thing too. But like a lot of my friends that also like had to have a tall guy, they all married short guys. And I think like a lot of women end up.
Chemistry is undefinable though.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say like many women end up with people that aren't their type. So when women are coming to you and they're like, this is my type, like I need somebody like this, and their type is very superficial, like how do you deal with that? And what is your advice?
You know what the type is? It's the confidence that they take care of their body, their temple.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna date a really short guy because it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Anatomically, you know. But the type is more like he treats me well. Like growing up, I don't think the value of kindness was so importantly pushed in my family because my dad was not a kind person and my mother took it because as long as he paid the bills, I was okay. Now kindness is the number one thing at the top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
It is so undervalued. And I can see a lot of men with a lot of money and a lot of resume and a lot of Sex in the City shit, and they're not nice.
Yeah.
And that ain't worth it to me. So at the end of the day, is he going to be there if you get cancer?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, when your mother dies, is he going to hold you while takes you to the funeral? Like, is he going to be there if you're having a bad day? I got the kids. Go to the spa. Let me handle everything.
Yeah.
And if you have that kind of guy.
Now, what do you think? So there's a lot of guys out there who have this like the facade of being the nice guy.
Ugh.
And
You mean the fake nice guy?
The fake nice guy.
And
a
call
lot
them
of
secret assholes.
Yeah, they're secret assholes. And a lot of my girlfriends, some of them even married the secret nice guy because it's tough. How do you spot when it's genuine and not?
Okay. First of all, people don't come out for a year. It used to be 6 months. Now it's a year. They're getting really good at this. If you watch YouTube where I had to study narcissism, I was blown away, love bombing, devaluation, triangulation, hoovering. I didn't know any of this shit. I was like, wait, this is a thing? This is a thing? Like textbook. I was in shock. Because back in the day, your parents stayed married even to the narc.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes there were two narcs narking it out. That's another. So the fake guy will eventually show. He'll have a rage moment. He will not be available when he says he's going to pick up. He won't call you when he said he's going to call you. He won't plan something. He'll make, what do they call that? Future faking, promises that he doesn't follow through. You will eventually know, but it's up to you to cut it off. Or say, hey, listen, I noticed you promised to do X and you didn't do X. Can you tell me why you didn't do that? Without accusatory. And then he can't answer it. Like, what are you talking about? You're making a big thing out of nothing. That's the narc. So that's a fake guy. Like in the beginning, I'm just doing everything to get you.
Right.
Yes.
It's not real.
Oof.
No.
And you have to be strong enough to be like, at point A, at year one, when it pops out at the beginning of the year, you're like, well, I already invested so much time. Let me see if I can change him in the next year. No. Cut. Bye.
Sexually attached to him, which he's not sexually attached to you, because men don't fall in love through sex. They fall in love through emotional connection. Right. So once you're attached to him sexually, you're like, but I'm never going to find better sex. Like I was addicted to someone in my 30s, which is, the dirty 30s, 4 years sexually addicted. Then I become famous. I don't know, 10, 12 years later, he contacts me. We go on a date. I'm like, ugh, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
like,
I love
of course he comes back around.
It's one of my favorite feelings, what was wrong with me? Okay, when we come back with Patti, we have some questions from the Lady Gang direct to her. Okay, we are back. Patti's got a brand new show, The Matchmaker, on the CW. It is going to premiere April 11th. And, I want to ask you one thing before we get to the Lady Gang questions. You're working with our friend Nick. He's like he's your whispering kind of hopping in there. My favorite part about it is where in the all the show stuff, they're like working with love expert. I was like, this man is not even married yet. We cannot be calling him a love expert.
I didn't make the promotions here, okay? When I picked him,
he's great.
I didn't know Natalie was pregnant. Like, I didn't know that because we didn't know that. And then we found out later. And then he's not married yet. And she slipped into his DMs. I'm not a fan of this whole story, but nonetheless, it's happening. Women are slipping into men's DMs asking around. She is drop dead gorgeous. She's movie star amazing. Mm-hmm. He got very lucky, and she's half his age. Now, do I think this is perfect but Nick is very shy. He's not the guy that's going to go ask a girl out and hunt. He's not Tyler Cameron. He's not going to hunt someone down.
Right.
It's very different than what you see. And do you remember in Paradise, he was like grizzly and not in shape? And it's like he transformed once he did The Bachelor. It was like
he got like the biggest glow up ever.
Yeah, he had a big, and he also watches everything he eats. I'll be like, did you even eat lunch today? Like, what are you eating?
Well, the thing that I think with Nick, like love expert, that title too, it's like he just always gives the best advice. He reminds me of you and the way that he gives advice, like very tough love.
I'm more in your face. He's chiller. We were very different in personalities, but we basically come to the same, acknowledgement. Like he's like, Patti, like I was just getting over a breakup when I started shooting, and I could not get over my ex. And he's like, you're still talking about him? Like he would yell at me, like he was right. It took a while. I was blown away by the immaturity in me, considering I know more than I should.
He definitely has given some of the best advice. I've always been surprised at how thoughtful he is and how good his advice is when he does that on Instagram.
Yeah, there's not a lot of us around. Like Tinks is trying to do it. Yeah, he's trying to do it. We don't have a lot of us running around. And that's another thing, because you don't like Nick Lachey and Vanessa, they're married. They got assigned this show. They weren't dating and then got that. Yeah. I was happy for Hannah getting engaged to Adam. I really like Adam and I really like Hannah. I think that was great. They moved to Nashville. They were like in a good place. And he seemed like a good dude. Like he just seemed like even though she slipped into his DMs and thought he, commented. Somebody else told me they slipped into DMs and that, Kristen Cavalieri we know about.
Yeah.
But
she's just having her fun time.
I think she's just, kicking it. Like, I'm like, please do not buy that car. Please do not. Because I don't want to bring a kid with a guy.
That's not the right car, but oh my God, let's rent it for a weekend for on the PC.
He is hot. For a year, but let's return it at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the Lady Gang questions. They want to know, what are Patti's thoughts on the opposites attract theory?
They can work. Like I'm a night bird and you're a morning bird, but they can't be everything opposite or it won't work. You have to have commonalities. But like basics, like, she's an extrovert and he's quiet, that can work.
Okay. Someone asked, when you meet someone online, how soon should we wait until meeting in person?
I don't 3 passes back and forth, no telephone number asked, said, listen, I'm not going to stay on this app forever. If you're interested, here's my number. They don't call within a week, next, delete. But because the problem is that if you like this person from a profile form and you've not spoken to them on the phone and heard their voice, which my assistant does all the time, and I yell at her, she's 29, I go, you are not going out with someone you have not talked to on the phone. We have big fights over this because we're clairaudient women. This is science. I'm not making the science up. You will know by the hearing, yay or nay. You have to pay attention to your gut intuition.
Go ahead, Jack.
No, I was just going to say when I was doing, because I did all of the apps, all the online dating, I always made the mistake of talking too long to somebody before I'd meet them in person. And then I'd get these expectations in my head and I'd like make this connection and then I'd always be let down. Either I didn't like him.
Timer, 20-minute, my grandmother would put the egg timer here. Mm-hmm. Okay, like sounds of the hourglass. She put the egg timer, she goes, 20 minutes, it's going to go off. Watch the egg timer because I'm going to push the phone off on you. As my grandmother did that. So I only say 20 minutes and then I'm like, I'm off the phone.
Yeah.
But we also need to empower the men because my brother is online dating right now and he was really excited because he was like, oh my God, I met someone and we've been talking nonstop and I think he's on Bumble. And I was like, but did you ask her out yet? And it had been a few weeks and he's like, we're not there yet. We're getting to know each other.
Hold on. Who is time? What does it mean we're not there yet? Like if you fill too much and then you go on that first date after 2 months of
then she ghosted. I was like, how's it going with the girl? He's like, I haven't heard from her. And I was like, because you didn't ask her to the zoo. She got swept up in someone else and is like, forget that chat. I'm on to my new person.
Remember, you don't want the match. I don't want to say match. You don't want the app police, reading your DMs. So you need to get off to regular phone.
Yeah.
Well, and also
read everything, and they can also decide to cancel your membership based on something you say.
Oh. Well, I think the problem is like people are using the app to like get to know somebody, but it's like the app should connect you to the person, and then you get to know them in real life,
Go for
and then
walk.
decide.
It doesn't have to be a fancy dinner that's like high pressure.
First date has to be man spends money on woman, or if it's gay, he who asks the person out.
But like, do you think the first date has to be a dinner, or can it just be drinks?
No, I mean a dinner, drink. He has to spend money. He has to spend money. It can't be like hike. That.
Oh no.
God. See, I'd never survive. I have to stay married. Okay, last question. Patti has so much to do. The show is premiering. She's got so much to do. Last thing. I thought this was a very thoughtful question and something great to end on. One of our girls said, basically her question is, what are Patti's thoughts on the steps that I need to take to prepare to be ready to invite love into my life?
Meditation, number one. I do TM, but you can pick what you want. Meditation, forgiveness to all the exes that are still mulling in your head that hurt you. Not like the 100 years ago, but like the most recent gamers. Forgiveness, meditation, forgiveness. And then 3, redo your wardrobe. Redo your outfits. Make a dating outfit thing. Like I made like t-shirts and jeans for the movies. Like I made a whole little closet and I'm like, so now this is my little V-neck tops, my boots, like everything is in one section of the closet. So when I'm ready for that date, I've got it. And I think it's really important. Well, the next thing would be to take my matchmaker fragrance. Did you guys get it yet? Did we send it to you? Okay, I will give you three out today.
Okay.
Matchmaker fragrance. It's my pheromone. It's gay, straight, pink, polka dot fluid. It doesn't matter what you want. That's going to get the person to you. So that's going to do less of the work. So you don't have to do so much work. Yeah.
Are you still working with clients, like individuals?
I am doing a course with Kathleen Cameron right now. We're doing webinars live. You can go onto my Instagram at Patti Stanger with an I, and you can click in Love and Money. We're doing a whole course on how to attract love and money to you. I'm writing a book on basically the experience that I've learned in law of attraction that I've been doing for years since I was in my 20s. I've studied it since I'm in my 20s. I mean, I went to Abraham when nobody even knew who Abraham was. And so a lot of things I have manifested. like I have manifested the show. I manifested a book deal. I manifested a lot of things. I'm going to teach people how I did it. And also, I think the other thing is that when you change your brain to believe he's out there. So if I asked every one of your friends that are single, do you believe the guy exists? What would they tell me?
At this point, no.
Yeah.
No,
Or I'm too picky. I'm too picky. I'm just going to have to give up.
Either two things are going to happen. You're going to go Valerie Bertinelli and you're going to go, I give up. I live with my cats forever and I'm fine. I'm so tired and exhausted. He shows up, which is what happened to her. And she's older than me. Or you're going to block it.
Yep.
So if you're going to block it, that means the law of self-fulfilling prophecy just keeps showing up. So we don't have to be 100% perfect. So I'll leave on one quick story and then we'll get off. Okay. So one of my friends is Marisol Patton. You guys know from Housewives of
I
Miami.
love her.
So Marisol and I would talk in COVID all the time. And she had two gay friends who had a pool. And she quit her job and mother died, dad died, had to redo the house with her brother, just like bleh. And so she goes, I'm going to go over to the gay couple's house, use the pool. She'd swim, have cockies, and call me. She was miserable. I had fixed her up with this guy who was a total, who I thought was a great guy. He turned out to be a jerk. And she was just like in the worst place. And then she had a boyfriend and then he broke up with her. And it was just one thing after another. She's going down a terrible rabbit hole. I would try to lift her spirits because we were all in this together alone. And she didn't realize that the couple sold the house to this guy. So the guy went into the pool house and said, who's this red bathing suit belong to? And the gay couple goes, oh, that's our friend Marisol. She's single. You're single. You guys should meet. So day one, that was her husband.
Oh my
they
God.
met. They never were separated. And she was in the worst place. So you know how they always say you have to be positive to get love? That's a lie.
Oh.
I said to her, how do you think that happened? Because you were so negative.
Yeah.
When my mom died, I figured she'd send it to me. And she believed in the power of her mother was like this little witch.
Yeah.
So she had a little belief in her.
And I said, that's a crack in the ceiling. So you have to look for a slight crack in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Where you have to take your friends to the side and say, okay, there's no one good in New York City. But do you think there's someone good in Miami on vacation? There's no one good at work. Do you think there'll be somebody good at the gym? Like you have to like break it down so there's a little slight crack so that, the fairy dust can come in.
Oh, I love that.
Patty, we needed you back in your life. We're so excited about The Matchmaker on the CW. April 11th, it premieres. We will be watching. We're excited that you're working with Nick too.
Cannot watch the premiere as I will be tweeting live. Please download the CW app. It is free.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yay.
And if you want to follow everything Patty's doing, you can follow her at Instagram. It's just her first and last name, Patty with an I. And we're so excited. And please come back and we'll keep you updated on our girls.
Thank you for inviting me. Big fan of
For season 2. Okay.
We love you.
We love you.
We see you next Tuesday.